Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something called the gray rock method. It's a really powerful strategy for dealing with manipulative people and, just as importantly, for protecting your own peace of mind. Does a story like this sound even a little bit familiar? If it does, then you already know how chaotic and draining it is to deal with a manipulator, and how trying to fight back can somehow make everything even worse. Well, this explainer is definitely for you. So here's our game plan. We're going to start by breaking down the manipulator's playbook. Then we'll get into what it means to become a gray rock. After that, I'll give you a step-by-step guide. We'll talk about the risks. And finally, look at what the long-term path to peace really looks like. Okay, first things first, you have to understand the number one rule of their game. They are looking for a reaction. Any reaction. So engaging with them, well, that's the trap. And trust me, they have a whole playbook of tactics to get you to fall right into it. One of their go-to moves is something called Hoovering. And yeah, it's named after the vacuum cleaner, because that's exactly what they're trying to do. Suck you right back into a toxic situation, usually right when you're trying to get away. They'll use anything, fake apologies, sudden crises, whatever it takes. Another classic, and this one is just nasty, is the smear campaign. This is a cold, calculated effort to ruin your reputation. They spread lies and gossip to turn people against you, all to make you feel isolated and, well, easier to control. And here it is, the key takeaway from all of this. All these tactics, they all have one single purpose: to get an emotional reaction out of you. It doesn't matter if it's anger, sadness, or even happiness. Your emotion is their fuel. It's what experts call narcissistic supply. So, if engaging is a trap, what's the alternative? What do? Well, you need a strategy that completely cuts off that fuel supply. And that brings us to the core of this whole thing, becoming the gray rock. This is the gray rock method. And honestly, the name is perfect. Your entire goal is to become emotionally unresponsive. You disengage by making yourself as boring, as dull, and as uninteresting as, well, a gray rock on the side of the road. The psychology behind this is actually pretty brilliant. You're simply denying them the emotional drama they need to survive. By making yourself a totally unrewarding target, you take away their reason to bother you. Eventually, they just get bored and go look for their drama somewhere else. Okay, so you get the theory, but how do you actually do it? Let's get really practical and walk through the step-by-step guide to making this work in real life. Just think of it like this. There are 4 basic rules. Rule 1, short, flat, emotionless replies. Rule 2, don't give them any personal information they can use later. Rule 3, keep every single interaction as short as humanly possible. And Rule 4, this one can be the hardest, do not argue. Don't explain yourself, don't defend yourself, just don't. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. On the left, you see the emotional reaction they're practically begging for. That's their fuel. On the right, that's the gray rock response. I see. Okay, I have to go now. See how there's nothing there for them to grab onto? They're conversation killers. Now, it's really important to be prepared, because when you suddenly cut off their supply, they're going to notice. This method isn't without risks, and it almost always triggers a very predictable chain of reactions. You need to know that their behavior might actually get worse before it gets better. That's called escalation. Also, let's be real. Holding yourself back like this is exhausting. It takes a ton of mental and emotional energy. So please, remember, this is a tactic for managing a situation, not a permanent fix for abuse. So what can you expect from them? Well, stage 1 is usually just confusion. You've suddenly gone off script. Your lack of response just doesn't compute for them. After they realize their usual tricks aren't working, that confusion starts to turn into frustration. You can almost see them thinking, wait a minute, why aren't my buttons working anymore? Next up is anger. This is their last desperate attempt to get a reaction out of you. Psychologists sometimes call this an extinction burst. It's that final big flare-up before a behavior dies out. Getting through this part is the biggest test. But, and this is the whole point, if you can hold firm, if you can stay that boring gray rock, you finally get to stage 4, boredom. They realize they can't get what they need from you anymore, and they'll go find an easier target. You've just won the game by refusing to play. Okay, last section. And this is so important. You have to see the gray rock method for what it truly is. A powerful tool, yes, but it is not the final destination. Think of it this way. Gray rocking is a tactic you use when you absolutely have to interact with someone, like a coworker or a co-parent. But the long-term solution, the thing that actually leads to healing, is no contact. That's when you cut off the engagement completely. And that really is the crucial point. As counseling experts say, completely cutting ties is what allows you to truly start to recover. It's not about revenge or punishment. It's an act of self-preservation. It's about empowering yourself to get your life back. Just understanding tools like gray rocking and knowing that no contact is the ultimate goal, that's a huge first step in taking back control. So we'll leave you with this question to think about. What is one small step you can take starting today to begin reclaiming your peace?